This precious historical tiara from the early 19th century belonged to Napoleon Bonaparte's favorite sister and has a fascinating history. For a long time, the jewel was in a private collection until it was auctioned at Christie's in 2021. What is the history of this marvelous tiara? Who became its new owner, and will we see the exquisite relic on display in the near future? Let's talk about everything in order. Before we start, please support my channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. On 18 May 1804, the first consul of the French Republic, Napoleon Bonaparte, was proclaimed emperor, but everything necessary for his coronation had to be made anew. Most of the ancient regalia of French monarchs had been lost during the Revolution. By Napoleon's order, 2 crowns were made at once, one in medieval style, the other in the form of a golden laurel wreath, like that of Roman emperors. Bonaparte was a great admirer of ancient Rome. Under him, antiquity became a popular motif in French jewelry, and one such trendy piece was Pauline Bonaparte's tiara. Marie Paulette Borghese, better known as Pauline Bonaparte, was Napoleon's adored sister. She was the only one who did not participate in his political power plays. Pauline preferred a life of love adventures over changing the political map of Europe. She used her beauty and courage to conquer a long trail of lovers, and despite the scandals, won the admiration of European beaux monde as a style icon. Few women have so savored the pleasure of being beautiful. The French general Louis Stanislas de Girardin wrote of her. To Napoleon himself, she was the best living thing, and the only one who never asks for anything. Although Pauline was often frivolous and helpless, she also had a loyal and courageous side. She was the only one of his siblings to visit Napoleon and help him financially when he was exiled to the island of Elba in 1814 after his unsuccessful military campaign in Russia. During his second exile to St. Helena, after his defeat at Waterloo, Pauline even asked to spend time with him on a remote island in the South Atlantic. The ears of wheat tiara is a rare example of a surviving jewel from the Napoleonic era. The piece, in the form of ears of wheat, is made of gold and silver and set with antique cut diamonds. Wheat ears, known in French as apis de Bliss, were a prominent and important design element during the Empire period, associated with the neoclassical aesthetic so favored by Napoleon and his court. This period was stylistically marked by a revival of classical antiquity, inspired by recently excavated archaeological sites such as Pompeii and Herculaneum. In fashion, this was epitomized in simple dresses with an exaggerated waist. Spikes of wheat are an attribute of Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture, harvest, fertility, and prosperity. Wheat jewelry was extremely popular in the early 1800s, and according to Bernard Morel, there were 3 large sets that belonged to the first ladies of France. Empress Josephine had 43 ears of wheat from her personal jewelry, which she most likely left to her son, the Duke of Leuchtenberg. Empress Maria Louise had 150 ears of wheat in 8 different sizes, which were created by Nido in 1812 using diamonds from the crown jewels. Most of them were dismantled after the Bourbon Restoration and the remaking of the crown jewels, but at least some survived because Chaumet later created a tiara from 9 of them. Then in 1824, 156 ears of wheat with diamonds were created for the Duchess of Angoulême from the crown jewels, which were later dismantled to create other jewelry for Empress Eugénie. The author of the tiara was François Renaud-Nittot, court jeweler to Napoleon I. He held this position until the fall of Bonaparte's empire, after which he sold the business to Jean-Baptiste Fossin. Then this jewelry house would change ownership once again, and in 1885 it received the name by which we know it today, Chaumet. Wheat ears, by the way, became a trademark of the jewelry house. Since then and to this day, Chaumet periodically adds necklaces, bracelets, or earrings to the collection. For example, in July this year at the presentations of high jewelry, Chaumet presented a necklace with motifs from the past. Pauline Bonaparte's tiara weighs 219 grams. The jewelry dates back to around 1811. The most interesting thing is that it can be disassembled spike by spike, and each precious part can be used separately as a brooch, a hair ornament, or, on the contrary, it can be bundled together to create a miniature diamond sheath. Considering that the tiara is 200 years old, it has not lost its elegance and still looks comfortable to wear. Pauline Borghese can be seen wearing a sheaf of wheat tiara in jean. Louis David's famous painting depicting the 1804 coronation of Napoleon and Josephine, which took place at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Pauline is depicted second from the left. However, she is wearing another similar tiara here, as the coronation took place in December 1804, and the painting was completed in 1807, while the tiara sold at Christie's is dated 1811. Pauline Bonaparte's tiara was much luckier than Napoleon I's laurel wreath. After Bonaparte's exile on the island of St. Helena, everything that reminded him of the greatness of his empire was destroyed by order of King Louis XVIII of France. Only one leaf remained. In 2017, it was sold at auction for €625,000. While Pauline Bonaparte's tiara remained in her family after the owner's death in 1825. Pauline didn't have any surviving children, and the tiara was inherited first by her husband, Prince Camillo Borghese, and then by her brother-in-law, Prince Francesco Borghese. Maria Immacolata Borghese Salviati, wife of one of Francesco's descendants, is pictured above wearing the tiara along with some ears of wheat on her dress. Until recently, it belonged to the Borghese family. However, in November 2021, the tiara transformer went under the hammer of Christie's auction house. The auction valuation of this work was set in the range of 440,000, 650,000 Swiss francs. The wreath went to the new owner for the tidy sum of 810 Swiss francs. When information about the tiara's sale at auction appeared, there were speculations that it would be purchased by some museum, but since then I have not been able to find any information about the buyer. In all likelihood, Pauline Bonaparte's ears of wheat tiara went into someone's private collection. Otherwise, this specimen must have already become a valuable piece in some museum exhibition. That's a shame. This historical piece definitely deserves to be shown in exhibitions. In my opinion, such things are priceless. It's sad that the Borghese family decided to part with the relic. They probably had a good reason to do so. Thank you for watching this video. Share your impressions in the comments and support our channel by subscribing and liking. Thank you.